Tua Tagovailoa has apologized for his statement this past Sunday after the loss against the Chargers in a game where he threw 3 interceptions and the Dolphins fell 29-27. After the game, Tua Tagovailoa decided to take to the press conference and air out some pretty dirty laundry regarding the Miami Dolphins. Now, I guess for context, we should get to the full quote, given some of people don't really understand why Tua even is apologizing for it. But let's get to it, shall we? We have guys showing up to players-only meetings late, guys not showing up to players-only meetings. There's a lot that goes into that. Do we have to make this mandatory? Do we not have to make this mandatory? It's a lot of things of that nature that we've got to get cleaned up. And it starts with little things like that. Now, Tua, a couple days later, well, today, if I'm being completely frank, decided to apologize. But I want you to notice something about this quote that I'm about to say. Really perk your ears up for this. To begin the quote, "I've made a mistake, and I'm owning up to that right now. I've talked to guys on the team about it, talked to the leaders about it, and they know my heart. They know the intent was right, but no matter the intent, when things get misconstrued or however the media wants to portray it, that leaves a void of silence and a lot of questions for the guys on our team." Now, being 1-5, we talk a lot about, all right, we got to get this thing going, come in excited to go to work, forget about the noise, and I feel like I just added onto that for our guys. He goes on to say, "I've got to look at myself as the leader, protecting the team. I don't feel like I did that to the best of my abilities. I felt like I let the emotions of the game get to me after the game, and that's something that I can learn from as a leader on this team, and what happens in-house should be protected, and none of that should have gotten out," end quote. Now, a lot of people seem to be upset that Tua Tagovailoa apologized, and they said that he should have stood 10 toes. He should have backed what he said. Why? What? How does that help the team? How does that help the narrative around the team? Let's be very blunt here. It's not fun being 1-5, okay? It's not fun at all. But you want to know what's worse? Airing out dirty laundry that should be handled in-house. Look, Tua, if you notice in the quote, didn't walk back anything he said. Tua didn't walk back a single thing, as a matter of fact. It really sounds like he walked back when he said it and the timing of when he said it, which is a thing that Tua needs to work on. Timing is everything for these Tua quotes. And I genuinely believe that it's not what Tua says, it's the timing of it's the timing of when Tua says it. That's the problem. Just like a couple of weeks ago, actually maybe even last week, Tua was asked a question about, well, how do you feel about the media and, how they have taken you in this season, in this rough season? And Tua went on to talk about his family, saying, no matter if I have 5 touchdowns or 5 interceptions, I still have a wife and beautiful kids to go home to. And he's right. He is absolutely right. And as a Christian, I love that for him. However, timing is everything. Timing is everything. And unfortunately for Tua, the timing of that quote was very ill. You should not have said that in that moment. Read the room. So yes, Tua should have apologized for it. Think of it like this. You have problems within your family, right? You have problems. You have an argument with your brother. You have an argument with your sister, maybe. Maybe your dad or your mom get into some sort of disagreement, right? Do you want your brother or your sister to go to their friends or to go to the public and air out the grievances to other people that are not in this house? I would imagine you would feel some type of way. Much like the teammates of Tua probably felt some type of way for them being called out publicly in the media like that. Now, some people saw it as something that was needed, and in my opinion, maybe to some extent it was. But here's the problem. The season is already a done deal. The last thing you need right now is pouring more gasoline into a fire that's already out of control. The likelihood is Mike McDaniel will be out of a job. The likelihood is Chris Greer is going to be out as well. That is the likelihood. And Tua, his time as a Dolphins QB is numbered. It's no secret that Miami Dolphins fans want everything to blow up. But this quote from Tua only made it even worse. And him apologizing was the right move. Because you don't, like I said multiple times in this video already, you can't air out dirty laundry in your front porch. You got to do that in your house. You got to do that in your backyard. You can't do it out in the front where everybody can see it. That doesn't help. That doesn't, no, you don't want people seeing your undies. Or God forbid your brother's undies. We don't want people to see that. Why would you? Tua made the right decision, apologizing. No question about it. And I know people want him to stand 10 toes. Me personally, I'm glad he walked back. Not on what he said, but when he said it. It's quite simple, ladies and gentlemen. The morale of the team itself is already in the gutter. And what Tua did was add a lot more stuff on top of the fact that you're already in a 1-5 season. Tua made the right call. Tua made the right call apologizing. And I think people should not really nag on Tua for doing so. I don't think they should. Especially since people are going to nag on Tua anyway. Let's be honest. People were going to take what Tua said out of context anyway. People are going to just misconstrue words. Like Tua said in the quote, misconstrue words that Tua says rather. It is what it is. Keep it in-house. Keep it in-house. Fix it in your house. Look, the season is already not looking good. We don't need more turmoil in an already rough season. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and comment if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. I'm going to be posting Dolphins content as well as other Miami sports content here in this channel. Maybe a bit of other news here and there. With that being said, goodbye. God bless. Vale.